I went back in time 10 years ago and I spoke to little Matt and said, you are going to be directing an Apes movie, what would happen?
I would think you were crazy. I mean, the thing is, I've been a fan of Planet of the Apes since I was a kid. I was obsessed. I had like all the dolls, and I loved the John Chambers makeup. I mean, Planet of the Apes was sort of my Star Wars before I saw Star Wars, and that's because I was really introduced to Planet of the Apes in television. I saw the television series, and then I watched reruns of the movies because I was too young to see it in the first run. But the first run experience I ever had was Star Wars, and that completely blew my mind.
And of course, with Star Wars, you're actually friends with J.J. Abrams,
Yeah.
who's in town at the moment.
Yes, he is.
Filming the new Star
Yeah.
Wars. So are you just going to happen to make a lunch appointment? And
I have to do press all day, but I'm hoping I could come by. Actually, we were like, you know, I was just talking to Brian and JJ, and, and they were like, can you come by? I was like, I want to come by so badly. A bunch of my friends, actually Michael Giacchino, who did the music to the film, he went by, and he showed me some pictures, and I was so jealous. I was like, oh my God.
He managed to get pictures off the set.
Well, you know, they're not, he's not supposed to show
They're not going to be
them
on
to
Twitter,
me.
obviously.
No, he's not going to put them on Twitter.
JJ might have to hunt
exactly.
you down now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You have signed on for another Apes movie. No title yet. Do you have any idea where it's going to go?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a continuation of, just as this was, a continuation of Caesar's story. I think he's this kind of mythic, seminal character in ape history. He's sort of like their Moses, and this will be that next step of that journey toward Planet of the Apes. I mean, somebody once asked me whether or not it was a boring thing that we know the ending, because we know it becomes the '68 film, and actually I thought that was the most exciting part, because when you know the ending to a story, then the question not becomes what happens at the end, it becomes, well, how do you get from here to there?
How much can you play with that? Because I would love to see the Apes come to London.
It would be very exciting to come to London. I don't know where we're going to go. It'll be very interesting. I don't know that the next one will be in London. I don't want to dash your hopes, but...
As a director, though, do you travel the world? I mean, you're in London today, obviously talking about the movie,
Yeah.
and you look at things, you drive past Buckingham Palace on the way to the hotel, and you're like, that would look good
Or
with
you
an
think,
ape
God,
on
wouldn't it be good? Last time I got pneumonia and we shot in the woods and it was like really tough, and you know, I was like, God, this is physically challenging. Don't the apes want to go to Hawaii? And so we're thinking, you know, maybe
A nice 5-star spa.
something like that, like the Dawn of the Spa, something like that.
That was Spa of the Apes.
Spa of the Apes.
Which moves on nicely, actually. A lot of successful franchises are now doing spin-offs and sort of, you know, doing sort of, you know, spoof movies.
Yes.
I've got a couple that I'd like to pitch to you, and I'd
Okay.
like to give me your feedback.
Okay.
The first one is Planet of the Japes.
Planet of the Japes.
Yeah, it's a comedy.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler
Okay.
is a single father.
Yeah.
Something, something, something. There's some hilarity.
Oh, something, something.
And at the end, he finds love.
That sounds, I think you've got it fully worked
Cool.
out. Yeah.
And then my second idea is Marmosets in the City. Female marmosets.
Yeah.
They narrate their way around New York, obviously destroyed.
Yeah, obviously.
On a
Yeah.
journey of growth and search for love in post-apocalyptic Manhattan.
That is very touching.
You would have to get some of the apes to drag up for that, though.
You would, yes.
Yeah, I get to deliver
Yeah,
that
of
news to
course.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
Great, okay. Now, when you go to places like London Zoo, you've obviously made this movie. Do you slightly look at the apes a little bit differently?
I've never been to the London Zoo. I'll tell you what I did do.
You need to do that
when
while
I
you're
was,
here.
I know, I would love to.
It's so good.
We shot in New Orleans for a lot of the movie, and we actually lived. I went with my son and my wife to the zoo, and I did have exactly that experience. The zoo is great because, first of all, thinking if he could get to me, I'd be in big trouble. But also just looking at their behaviors, it is fascinating.